Hi everyone, welcome to the Spinners Lounge and welcome to another show. And I've got another guest with me. And with true Spinners Lounge tradition, what we're going to do is we're going to let the DJ or the person, my guest, introduce himself. So please, if you could tell everyone who you are, what you do. And
Hi there, my name's Mark, and most people, well, everyone just calls me Spyda Man. I've been DJing since 2009. I'm a producer as well. I love my drum and bass, DJ and produce drum and bass. That's me, man.
yeah, cool, cool. Welcome and thanks for having us as well and inviting us down. Right, with the Spinners Lounge, we've got a kind of series of questions that we ask our guests, yeah? And these questions, as always, are just kind of to build up context of who you are, yeah? Because I think I discovered you on Facebook in the group DJs. I can't, you know what? Something I can't. Anyway, I showed you earlier. Anyway, you know
No
the
big
group, yeah.
names.
So obviously the whole idea of trying to even because I think what I did was I posted up in the group and I kind of obviously tried to invite make it aware that any DJ or anyone who wants to come to the Spinners Lounge or be featured on the Spinners Lounge can. And then I noticed a couple of posts. You were probably one of the few people that actually posted their regular. So kind of checked you out, listened to kind of a couple of bits you put up, and I thought, yeah, it'd be nice to kind of understand who is behind Spyed. Yeah,
I understand,
yeah.
thank you.
So cool. So the first question, really, right, that I always ask guests is try and explain and give us a little bit of context to your background. So, first question is, where did you grow up?
Originally, I grew up in Ruislip.
Okay.
Moved there when I was about 10. I think I lived in other locations before that. But yeah, grew up in Ruislip. Family was mum and dad. They split up when I was a bit older. Just sort of music's always been my passion, man. It's just ever since I was young. Just got three brothers and sisters. Fourth, if you can include Gary. Yeah, man, he's just been living there since I was quite young. So he's part of the furniture now. So he's just another brother from another mother. So yeah, man, all that's my family. That's where I've grown.
Okay, cool. So, with family, are there any members who are into music like yourself or do anything in music? Or you're the only one who sort of.
My sister dabbled in instruments, but no one really stuck to anything music wise. We've all loved our music. We've all listened to music, but I don't know. I've been the only one that's really had the real passion in it, really.
Okay,
Oh
cool.
no, actually no. My real dad actually, he was a DJ when he was alive, man. Yeah, he was a real DJ
Okay.
when he was alive. Yeah.
What do you DJ? What kind of music?
My mum said it was like back in like I think it was the 80s. So it was like the 80s punk. Like it was proper like I don't know, just old school 80s punk. Really, just not the punk like we know it of today. Just the punk when
Mm,
it was starting out. Just the
yeah,
gritty like
yeah.
punk.
Okay, cool. Right. So, with the kind of obviously growing up in your household, um, I always ask the next question really is music because obviously the reason I do ask that second is to build up to obviously when you start DJing. But I want to
Mm.
know or share with us the kind of music you listen to growing up, and then obviously you kind of paint a picture of the transition into how you became a DJ. So growing up, what kind of music did you sort of listen to?
Growing up wise, my mum was always playing sort of glam rock, Queen, Bon Jovi, that type of stuff growing up. But then I sort of got when I got into my own taste of music, I was more listening to the rock, metal. I was more into the heavier side, more like the Slipknot, Cannibal Corpse. I did listen to a bit of Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park. Do you know the actual like the rock from the 90s, as it were?
Hmm.
Um, Occasionally drum and bass would slip through, like you'd hear some DJ hype come through or some happy hardcore. I've always liked the harder side of music, like the heavier side of music. So, yeah, anything hardcore sort of came through. So happy hardcore came through, DJ hype came through, DJ Fresh back in the day before he sold out, he came through. Yeah, so that was good, man.
Okay, cool. So what was like I always ask if people can remember is what was the first record or CD or track that you might have bought, you know, or downloaded or whatever, that kind
Yeah.
of you remember that sort of that's the time when you started thinking, all right, I enjoy music and I want to take up music and do all.
The first CD I actually brought was a house CD, man. I'm not really into my house, but like it was a track called "The Sound of Bamboo." I saw the video on MTV, and it was a game, sort of like a game video with the geese were just running through the woods and just mad creatures would pop out, and I just needed that CD. And as soon as I got that CD, I don't know, it was electronic, so I suppose that's when I started realising that was the type of music I liked really, and just sort of carried it on from there.
Okay, cool. So I always, because obviously you mentioned Lincoln Park and all these kind of groups and that. So really, I want to know because it's interesting. Then, how did or what made you then shift over to drum and bass, and then because what the next question which I want to ask is the DJing, how you got into it. But obviously, there was you've got the sort of rock kind of
Yeah, the
that phase.
transition
Yeah, the
period.
phase. What kind of led up to it, and then how did you then morph into start thinking, right, I want to start DJing drum and bass.
Um, I got to the age of like 18, and my friends sort of said, "Do you want to come out to a rave called Whirligig?" It's a sort of a smaller rave that's built its reputation up nowadays. But back in the day, it was like a hippie rave, or like a proper old school hippie rave, where there would just be acid trance and psychedelic trance, and like it was very old school, very nice, happy vibe. Like you'd walk in the main room, there'd be a section where there'd just be like all the old school hippies playing their bongos and stuff to like the music. Like it's a proper really good vibe. Like, and then I don't know, I just sort of like took off with the raving from there. I was already liking my happy hardcore by this stage, and like I said, and drum and bass is already creeping through because I already had friends that are older, and my elders were always into their drum and bass. That's originally why my name's spelled Spyda because they liked MC Spider, and when I was already being called Spider Man, they was like, "Oh, Spider, you should spell it this way." So there's always been roots there that I've never really understood when I was younger, but as I've grown up, I realised I was always drum and bass. I was always listening to all the old school jungle classics, the Pendulum and stuff like this. So then once I got into the raving scene, and once my mum actually kicked me out when I was 18, I moved up to Wolverhampton. The dubstep was big up there. Everyone was loving dubstep, and I went to a friend's house and just they were always mixing on computers and stuff. So I just sort of like realised drum and bass was where my heart was at. So I just sort of started off from there, and just away I went. Like just raving's what took me there, really, though.
Of course, most people do. You have to go out and experience the culture
Yeah.
and feel the energy, especially being in a big rave and especially drum and bass. Because I remember going out when I was younger. And it's an energy as well, you know, being there. And obviously the aim is you think to yourself, I want to be that guy who's keeping these people buzzing or
That's
keeping
it.
them going. Oh, cool. So at the time taking up DJing, yeah, what because there's two parts to this sort of question, and I'm kind of to understand the DJs that influenced you at that beginning
Yeah.
when you started out, you know, going to friends, Wolverhampton, all this.
Yeah.
The DJs that you looked up to at that particular time, who influenced you and influenced yourself, as in like you looked up to them and thought, right, I like what they're doing. This is how I want to be as a DJ, and I'm
Yeah.
going to try and model myself on them. So, first question is obviously at that time, what were the DJs that influenced you?
The DJs that influenced me, the DJs I was listening to were like Silent Unknown with a Happy Hardcore, and Hype, um, Hazard, Zinc, um, Prodigy, Fresh, like DJ Fresh, like I said back in the day, back when the Mortal, back before he released Louder and stuff like this. Like, yeah, the drum and bass back when it was jungle, back when it was actually drum and bass, where it hadn't split off into so many different genres.
Of course,
Sort
of
of
course.
them type of artists were my biggest influences, to be honest.
Okay, cool. So now, keeping in mind that those were your influences, maybe you can maybe take one or two out of there, but your all-time favorite DJs. So you're gonna take maybe some from there, and obviously build up to where you are now. The DJs that you kind of think, okay, these are the guys that they are top of their game for me, and
Yeah.
they do it, and they smash it. So
Number one for me always has to be DJ Leveler. Like I want to be on his label. Like I will one day be on his label. There's no question about it. I will chase his dream. He's my number one. Like, there's many following him afterwards. Afterwards, there's J-Line's my number two for definite. Knew someone that was involved, and from what I heard, he's a good guy, man. And from his tunes, always get me going and stand me up. Magistrates, Hazard, Hype, Heist. Was it Konochi? He's a new one that I found.
Who?
Konochi. I think that's how you pronounce it. There's so many jump up artists. They're just running through my head, just getting their names out. They're all on the tip of my tongues. I can't even pronounce that name, man. It's like Lipsfield or something. There's just so many names that are just so difficult to pronounce. They just make it so individually unique these days.
Of course. That's the thing about music, because there's so much music out there, but there's so much individuality that kind of makes you draw to the individual artist or the kind of style of music they play. Okay, that's some good names in there. Some good names. Right. Let's talk a bit about your style, right? Because that's what we'll move on to next. Now, you said obviously you play drum and bass. You've come from a sort of rock background. How do you, or what does it define how you sort of make yourself out in that genre of drum and bass? Do you kind of are more like, I think you said you're a bit more edgy, like the kind of harder kind of style. Is that the kind of style you kind of stick with, and that's your drum and bass, or are you kind of a drum and bass guy who goes a bit, maybe, I don't know, what's the word, scientifical, and then you maybe got old school? Kind of talk about how you
I understand. I try and stick to jump up, but I've recently found that I can't just stick to jump up because not everyone likes jump up. So I'm starting to mix a bit of light and fluffy with a bit of dark and gritty. So a bit of jungle with a bit of jump up. But I've also do back to backs to my friends that come over, and he likes mixing his dark drum and bass. So I found dark drum and bass and jump up works well together. The low windy bass lines with the high gritty synths just work nice together. But double drop ins what I like to be doing most of the time as well. And I just go with how the atmosphere is feeling. Do you know, if everyone's feeling light and fluffy, I'll play more light and fluffy tunes. If everyone's more in a dark gritty vibe, then I'll just play dark gritty tracks. Really, it's just, I don't know, you just feel how the audience feels and just
Okay,
flow
so that's
with them.
relating to playing out. That's why you're talking here. So if you're playing out, you kind of respond to the
even if I'm just playing for myself, like just however I'm feeling, however I'm flowing that day, just is however I flow with it. I've just got like a folder filled with like all the best tracks that I've found and love, and just put them together. And then once I'm mixing, like if I'm feeling that track will work well with this track, or I might just miss this track out because I'm feeling darker today or happier today. Do you know what I mean? I just go whatever the mood's feeling, really.
Okay, cool. Obviously, before we started filming, you said also you've mentioned at the beginning you do production as well. So let's talk briefly about your production and the style, and kind of what I always ask, especially guys that produce and play. I always ask them, is there a difference between what they make and what they play? So for you, how long have you been producing, and just talk a little bit more about that.
I've been dabbling in producing since I was quite young, from like the EJ games and stuff on the PlayStation, little bits on the Xboxes here and there. But I've got onto Reason a couple years ago, maybe been dabbling on that, but I never got into a course 2-3 years ago, and that's where my passion really got fueled and like brought up. I went there thinking that I knew hardly anything, turned up and found out I knew a heck of a lot more than I realised. Left the course with a passion fueled fire built right up. So then I've got a Mac at the end of the year and been on Logic for like a year now, but got like 5, 6, maybe 7 tracks out online. What I mix to what I actually try and produce, there is a difference at the minute because I'm still trying to work out how to create the sounds that I'm hearing, but I'm getting to what I personally think close to what I'm looking for. My latest track seems to be a lot more on point. I'm using a lot more instruments rather than creating the actual sounds myself, which brings a bit more humanity to the track rather than just a complete electronic to it. So Yeah, man, I'm just trying to listen to what I like and pass on what I can do.
Oh, cool, cool. So, well, I forgot to even to ask you as well in terms of obviously playing out, DJing and stuff. Have you played out much, or obviously because you said you started in 2010 or nine?
Yeah, 2009, yeah, at a friend's
2009.
house,
So
yeah.
since then, how long was the I don't know the time the difference between starting out and then maybe you started to showcase your skills beyond sort of your friend's house or this place, but
Yeah.
publicly? How did that work out?
I've always been posting my stuff online. I've always been posting my stuff online, but I never really got to play out till I met some friends in Wolverhampton, Nicky and Pete. Pete's been in the underground scene for a very long time, and he's a sort of a techno drum and bass DJ. And he took me to a shindig one time, and I was actually able to play there. It was a 5 o'clock slot, but we still rocked the room. It was a very good fun, lots of fun. I was able to play out at a couple of house parties for some friends. A couple of them were big house parties. Like a couple of both of them, the ones I'm thinking of, did get done up pretty damn good, and it was yeah, quite a good messy party. Always living off them vibes, man. That's always a good
Okay.
thing.
And in terms of radio, have you been on radio?
Oh yeah, radio. I did some online radio, but yeah, that the site got shut down, man. I'm currently looking to do some more online radio at the minute,
Okay,
just
cool.
trying to branch out and get some more opportunities where possible.
Okay, cool, cool. That's cool. And in terms of last question, really is less. I always say is technology, and that just focuses on the kind of hardware that you use to get into DJing and what you currently use now. So
Mm.
like for some certain people they might have started off on vinyl, for some they might have just started off on controllers or CDJs. So
Yeah.
what did you start off with and what was the progression you made to where you are now?
Yeah, I started on actual virtual DJ, just literally keyboard and keyboard and mouse. Like, yeah, back in the day, just keyboard and mouse. And then as soon as my family sort of realised I actually do have a real passion in it, and they helped me get a controller. It was only a sort of the cheaper side of the controllers, but it was a good little stepping stone, a good little starting stone. You know, you had the crossfaders, the tempo control. You know, had all the main stuff there. So then I just sort of every time that broke, I progressed up in controllers. Never really had enough money to get CDJs and vinyls, unfortunately. But I still do live by the rule of if you can't mix on vinyl, you're not a real DJ. But technology and the world is changing, so eventually, although I hear vinyl's coming back now, but eventually everyone will be mixing on controllers
Of
or
course.
at least through USB sticks or
Mm.
hard drives because it saves lugging around so much stuff.
Yeah, the thing about vinyl and all that is it's nostalgic. It's looking back in it and thinking to
Yeah,
yourself, oh, you know. But the reality of it is that one, yes, it's good to have vinyl and learn on
mm,
that. But the reality of
pure
how
skill in that.
the speed of it, I can't imagine now because DJs are not to say that I don't know if they're playing out more or less or whatever. But I can imagine if you for a particular individual, if you're busy
Yeah,
and you're flying from place to place and doing from place, it's not practical to be carrying record boxes because you need to have variety. So
yeah,
if you go with record box, you really gotta play what's in the box.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's well, them ones, but I think you're right. In the end, digital will reign
Yeah,
supreme.
unfortunately, there is proper skill in vinyl. There is proper skill in
No,
vinyl.
there is, but like you know, again, I don't know, man. It's because it's all good to have an opinion, but I think it's pleasing the punters at the end of the day.
Yeah,
If the punters don't mind and just want to listen to music and enjoy themselves, then
that's it.
you know, you literally just play the music wherever you
Yeah,
play, vinyl or digital, or whatever. So
that's it.
cool. All right, you know what, Mark? It's been or Spider, I should say. It's been cool, obviously, talking to you, and again, you know, thanks for inviting us down. Um, obviously, I'm going to be looking forward to your mix to see what you
Thank you very
play.
much. It's very good having
Yeah, because we hadn't had a drum and bass DJ since the beginning, so
you.
it's good to kind of see what's going on, people's tastes and stuff. Just all we do at the end here is we just kind of, you know, just let people know where they can find your music.
Yeah.
And since you now have got a couple of tunes online where maybe people can go and listen to those kind of tunes. So if you can just share your social media, your music, if you've got a website, if you've got anything you want to promote or share with them, then this is the time. Please take it away.
Yeah, my social media is just do facebook.com/more is never enough. Full stops in between each word. If you want to find my hour-long sets, most of them are up for downloads. If not, just let me know. I can put them up for download. That's mixcloud.com/DJ Spyda Man. That's SPYDAMAN, DJ Spyda Man. Same with my tracks. You want to find them on my tracks, they're on SoundCloud. SoundCloud.com again /DJ Spyda Man. That's SPYDAMAN. Thank you very much for listening. One love.
Cool. Right, people. With the Spinners Lounge, thank you for watching. With all the links will be in the video below, and you can go and check them out. And this is me, Trudy, and this is the Spinners Lounge, and like we like always say at the end, peace, look after yourselves, be good, and keep watching and subscribe to the channel, because obviously the more people subscribe, the obviously it's good to know that you're watching and you're supporting the Spinners Lounge and what we're doing, just going out there, giving everyone a voice, whether you play that at your beefer, whether you play that to your mates, it doesn't matter. The Spinners Lounge is always open for everyone. So please subscribe, support. If you know anyone who might be interested, they're into their music and they want to talk about themselves and what they do, just you'll find the links again below to contact us. So guys, thanks for watching. Over and out. Peace.
Peace.